यज्ञाय गातुं यज्ञपतये दैवी स्वस्तिरस्तु नः स्वस्तिर्मानुषेभ्यः ऊर्ध्वं जिगातु भेषजं शन्नो अस्तु द्विपदे शं चतुष्पदे ॐ शान्तिः 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 ॐ तच्छंयोरावृणीमहे गातुं यज्ञाय गातुं यज्ञपतये दैवी स्वस्तिरस्तु नः स्वस्तिर्मानुषेभ्यः ऊर्ध्वं जिगातु भेषजं शन्नो अस्तु द्विपदे शं चतुष्पदे ॐ शान्तिः 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 ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहैः ॐ शान्तिः 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 ॐ नमो ब्रह्मादिभ्यो ब्रह्मविद्या सम्प्रदायकर्तृभ्यो वंशऋषिभ्यो महद्भ्यो नमो गुरुभ्यः ॐ निधये सर्वविद्यानां विशजे भवरोगिणां गुरवे सर्वलोकानां दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः ॐ श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानामालयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादशङ्करं लोकशङ्करम् ॐ भवता जनता सुहिता भविता निजबोधविचारणचारुमते कलयेश्वर जीवविवेकविदं भवशङ्करदेशिकमे शरणम् ॐ परब्रह्मणे श्रुतिमात्रे समस्तब्रह्मविद्याचार्येभ्यो ऋषिभ्यो मुनिभ्यो गुरुभ्यो देवताभ्यो अस्मद्गुरुभ्यो नमः श्रीवेदव्यासविशम्पायनयाज्ञवल्क्याद्धशङ्करादिगुरुभ्यो नमः तेषां सर्वेषां गुरूणां देवतानां श्रुतिमातु परब्रह्मणः अनुग्रहेण उपनिषदुक्तब्रह्मात्मैक्यबोधस्य अस्मिन् क्षणे एव अनुभवसिद्ध्यर्थं सनातनधर्मस्य वैदिकसंस्कृतेः पुनरुत्थानजागरणविश्वव्याप्त्यर्थं समस्तसनातननिष्ठानां भक्तानां च सनातनसंस्थापने दिग्विजयार्थं च श्री कृष्णयजुर्वेदान्तर्गत तैत्तिरीयोपनिषदः शङ्करभाष्यसमेत अध्ययनं वयं सर्वे करिष्यामहे ॐ यस्माज्जातं जगत्सर्वं यस्मिन्नेव प्रलीयते येनेदं धार्यते चैव तस्मै ज्ञानात्मने नमः येरिमे गुरुभिः पूर्वं पदवाक्यप्रमाणतः व्याख्याताः सर्ववेदान्ताः तान् नित्यं प्रणतोऽस्म्यहं तैत्तिरीयकसारस्य मयाचार्यप्रसादतः विस्पष्टार्थऋषीणां हि व्याख्येयं सम्प्रणीयते ॐ शन्नो मित्रः शं वरुणः शन्नो भवत्वर्यमा शन्न इन्द्रो बृहस्पति शन्नो विष्णुरुक्रमः नमो ब्रह्मणे नमस्ते वायो त्वमेव प्रत्यक्षं ब्रह्मासि त्वामेव प्रत्यक्षं ब्रह्मावादिशं ऋतमवादिशं सत्यमवादिशं तन्मामावेत् तद्वक्तारमावेत् आवेन्माम् आवेद्वक्तारम् ॐ शान्तिः 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 ॐ अथ द्वितीया Brahmananda Valli Athashtamanuvaga. Please enjoy the beautiful rendering of this Ashtama Anuvaka. Do chant along with us here. Just feel that Vedic mantra Ucharana, Trupti and Ananda in the mind. Om Bheshasmadvatah Pavate Bheshodeti Suryaha Bheshasmadagnishendrascha Mrutyurdhavati Panchamahite सैषानन्दस्य मीमांसा भवते युवा स्यात् साधु युवाध्यायकः आशिष्ठो दृढिष्ठो बलिष्ठः तस्येयं पृथिवी सर्वा वित्तस्य पूर्णा स्यात् स एको मानुष आनन्दः ये शतं मानुष आनन्दाः स एको मनुष्यगन्धर्वाणामानन्दः श्रोत्रियस्य चाकामः तस्य ये शतं मनुष्यगन्धर्वाणामानन्दाः स एको देवगन्धर्वाणामानन्दः श्रोत्रियस्य चाकामः तस्य ते शतं देवगन्धर्वाणामानन्दाः स एकः पितॄणां चिरलोकलोकानामानन्दः श्रोत्रियस्य चाकामः तस्य ते शतं पितॄणां चिरलोकलोकानामानन्दाः स एक आजानजानां देवानामानन्दः श्रोत्रियस्य चाकामः तस्य ये शतमाजानजानां देवानामानन्दाः स एकः कर्मदेवानां देवानामानन्दः ये कर्मणा देवानभियन्ते श्रोत्रियस्य चाकामः तस्य ते शतं कर्मदेवानां देवानामानन्दाः स एको देवानामानन्दः श्रोत्रियस्य च कामः तस्य एष तं देवानामानन्दाः स एक इन्द्रस्यानन्दः श्रोत्रियस्य च कामः तस्य एष तमिन्द्रस्यानन्दाः स एको बृहस्पतेरानन्दः श्रोत्रियस्य च कामः तस्य एष तं बृहस्पतेरानन्दाः स एकः प्रजापतेरानन्दः श्रोत्रियस्य च कामः तस्य एष तं प्रजापतेरानन्दाः स एको ब्रह्मण आनन्दः श्रोत्रियस्य च कामः तस्य स यश्चायं पुरुषे यश्चासावादित्ये स एकः स य एवं विद अस्माल्लोकात् प्रेत्य एतमन्नमयमात्मानमुपसङ्क्रामते एतं प्राणमयमात्मानमुपसङ्क्रामति एतं मनोमयमात्मानमुपसङ्क्रामति एतं विज्ञानमयमात्मानमुपसङ्क्रामति एतमानन्दमयमात्मानमुपसङ्क्रामति तदप्येष श्लोको भवति ॐ शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः. Friends, in Taittiriya Upanishad, every Valli, every Anuvaka has got very beautiful things to convey to our intellect for understanding, conviction, and practice, and thereby reaching to higher experiences, rising above the lower ones. So too were the sixth, seventh Anuvakas of this Brahmananda Valli we have seen. Even in this eighth Anuvaka, some crucial, very sublime, very needed thoughts or points or understandings or knowledges are given to the students of this Taittiriya Upanishad, which are so very crucial that if one is very sublime, very subtle in listening and understanding them, he is really giving a chance to himself to evolve. First, we have to evolve in our understanding. Then, truly, we evolve in experience by putting that understanding into practice. So, here the understanding regarding how the Ananda gradation grows, that is very sublime, which is told to us, which is in contradiction or opposite to what the ordinary human minds think. Here it is Shrutimata and all the rishis have experienced and endorsing to us. Oh, my dear friends, the growing in Ananda is not because of obtaining the things outside. The growth in Ananda happens when inside we become more and more quiet and refined and purified. If this one intellectual understanding thoroughly is grasped by us, thereby our dependency and slavery to the outer world is reduced to a great extent. The samsara named dukkha starts going away from our life. So, to inside, as said, the quality of our antakarana is increased more and more to that extent. The reflection of Brahma Ananda in the form of peace and happiness felt within. This is permanent. This is independent. This is always, staying with us only. Doesn't depend on times or conditions or situations, nor it gets reduced. So aim at this inner Ananda before which redefine the meaning of peace and bliss, that it is found inside, not outside. Till this happens in our life, Ananda is inside and not outside, we have not started our journey of spirituality at all. We are just only loitering at the periphery of our just listening but not taking it to the heart to understand. That's how the Ashtamanuvaka becomes very, very crucial. So, in the second or three or four topics, first topic is very exhaustive in the earlier Anuvaka 7. So, the summary of it is one: Brahman is there because of whose fear alone the great phenomenal forces like Agni, Vayu, Indra, and Surya, etc., are working there, including Yamaraj and all. Then the Ananda Meemamsa started. How beautifully our Bhashyakara is guiding us. First, why the Ananda Meemamsa is required to be done is explained, and that's what will be developed throughout towards the end. That is what will be concluded. To say that is this Ananda is Vishaya Vishaya Ananda like the other, or this Brahmananda is Swabhavika Ananda. Finally, after discussing this one, now the first unit of Ananda is of a human being who is full in all these seven things. First unit Ananda is this greatest Ananda enjoyed by a human being when he gets everything under his disposal. That's the one unit. In that, the 6 plus 1, 7 things are told. Very, very beautiful it is. In fact, Brahmananda, we should aim it. For the sake of that, only this entire topic developed. And yet, even through variety of knowledges, practices, punya, if these things are gained, our happiness gradation grows. Laukika ananda thoda अच्छा वाला पाओ, though it is not recommended at the level of Upanishads. इट इज एट द लोअर लेवल, बट बस उपनिषद में उसका जिक्र हुआ तो थोड़ा कॉमन सेंस आना चाहिए हमको. सो लेट अस नॉट डिग्रेड आर लोअर आवर हैप्पीनेस by devaluing these great things. Some of them are natural, we can't have control over them, but few of them can be gained by us. So what are the 6 things which make a unit of ananda, starting ananda, that is a complete infinite ananda by a human being. तो मतलब ज्यादा से ज्यादा ये मनुष्य ये वाला आनंद पा सकता है, और सबसे ज्यादा पाने वाला ये आनंद को 1 यूनिट ऑफ आनंद कहते हैं. Developing which 100-fold the anand of the greater and higher beings will be put in front of us. So yuva syat, then sadhu yuva, then adhyayakaha. Do you remember that? Yuva, the young age. Sadhu yuva with all good, noble values, virtues, character and conduct. Adhyayakaha, mastery of the Shastras. Thoroughly he has studied under the Guru for 6, 7, 8, 9 years with a sharp intellect and grasped both sides of the aparavidya of the karmakanda, of attaining this or the other world things, and the paravidya of the Upanishad kanda, jnana kandam, which talks about Brahma Prapti. That's called as Adhyayakaha, not just one who is chanting the Veda mantra superficially. Na. And Pathakaha nahi kaha na, Adhyayakaha kaha. So the one who has done Adhyanam. Shravanam is not Adhyanam. श्रवणम के बाद घर में खुद किताब खोलकर गुरु ने जो बताया उसका मनन करते हुए दोबारा पढ़कर उसका एसेंस exactly as it is there, when one grasps, it's called as Adhyanam. After Adhyanam, not only the complete knowledge will be there, should be there is no doubt regarding that particular aspect or topic. That's called Adhyanam. So, he is Adhyayakaha. Yuva sadhu yuva Adhyayakaha. Then Ashishtaha, highly ambitious, Drudishtaha, very firm in all his convictions, and Balishtaha, full of all strengths, physical nature at every level, to improve, implement whatever to be done to reach the Ashishtaha, the goals. Then more beautiful than this is Tasya Yam Prithvi. And also the entire Prithvi is at his disposal. Which Prithvi is that Prithvi which is bombed by USA and totally smashed onto the earth? No. Sarvavittasya Purna Prithvi Syat. That Prithvi which is full of all the Vitta, the riches, is at his own command or disposal, or he is the owner of it. And what is the Vitta? Vitta of the Prithvi, which is the giver of Upabhoga Sadhana. That is, here all the things ready-made are there to consume, or the raw material is to make ready and consume. Consume is every type of enjoyment, and there are all the resources using which those things that can be done, which result in gaining the higher world. So, all are at that disposal. Therefore, precisely by this, what's meant by the Shruti Mata is Raja Ityartha. So, tasya yam sarvavittasya purna prithvi syat. तस्येयम पृथ्वी सर्वावित्तस्य पूर्णा स्यात्. सो तस्य स्यात्, उसके बाद है मानो. व्हाट? इयम पृथ्वी सर्वा, होल पृथ्वी, हाउ? पूर्णा, filled with everything. So when the 6 plus 1, 7 things are there, there's a ekaha manusha ananda. That a maximum of a manusha ananda. Ambitious. Just you can contemplate on this and truly we feel it. The entire world with all resources are at my disposal. And I am also Balishtaha, Drudishtaha, Ashishtaha, Adhyayakaha, Sadhuva, and Yuva. Sadhu Yuva is very essential because with all the good things, if one is an asadhu, then the name and fame will not come. In fact, if he is not sadhu yuva, his asishta, drudishta, valishta, every one of them will fail. And then the Prithvi cannot be at his disposal because the people will not select him as a king. Is it not? And then we can see the Prithvi Mata always going and crying because of the king and the prajas who are asadhu, saying that they are the bhara. And in the case of Raja, who the Prithu Raja's father, what was his name? Nimi's son, Prithu's father, what was his name? Was very, very, very bad king. Worst, he used to even throw the children in the well, and when they used to die, he used to celebrate. That Bhayankara, what was his name? Ha! When he became the king, Prithvi Mata took away all Avena, Vena, not Venu, Vena. It's really Vain only, Vain. Raja Vena was king. The Prithvi Mata has hidden all her resources inside. She did not allow because the bad king Asadu. Then when that Hunkara Matra say of the rishis, when he died, then there was no king. They have churned the hands of him, and from that came the Raja Prithu, who is one of the 24 avatars of Bhagavad Purana. And when Raja Prithu came, then he did the Bhudohanam, sorry. Like the Godohanam, milching the cow, he just milked the earth. And he was such a great king. So many good qualities of Raja Prithu are mentioned in Bhagavata. In Bhagavata, the great qualities of Parikshit, great qualities of Raja Prithu, great qualities of Prahlada are very, very important for us to study. Many others have come, but these three. So, pleased with him being a king, Prithvi Mata gave out everything which he has hidden in her because of that earlier bad king. So, Sadhuyuva is required for himself to feel happy inside, for himself to get that name and fame and cooperation and support and goodwill from the Praja. And all the Devatas will be happy with Sadhuyuva, not the Sadhu. So, to the Prithvi Mata. But more important here is none of these are our contexts. The context is the Brahmajnanam. So in this regard also, if one is asadhuva, then his mind will be distracted. He can never be spiritually growing. These are the things we have to keep in mind. That this topic will again and again be repeated in this very Anuvaka at least 5-6 times. We have to be very conscious in trying to listen to it and understand. So these 6 things and seventh one is he is the Raja, the Sarvabhauma of the entire Prithvi with all the resources for the happiness here and hereafter through various karma kanda yajna. Such is the one unit of happiness. This we have seen yesterday. Okay. Narayana. Tasya cha yah anandah saha ekah manushaha manusyanam prakrushtaha ekah anandah. So Manushanam Prakrushtaha Anandaha and Eka Anandaha. It is the best Ananda which a human being can imagine and reach out to. That is Ekaha Anandaha, one unit Ananda. One unit. So this is done. Yuva Syat Sadhu Yuva Dhyayaka Ashishto Dhrishto Valishta Tasyam Prithvi Sarvavitasya Purna Syam Sa Eko Manusha Ananda. Now multiplied with 100 by this is the next. So the second one also is किं ते शतं मानुष आनन्दाः स एको मनुष्य गन्धर्वाणामानन्दः श्रोत्रियस्य जागामः तस्य. So here the 100 times multiplied is the ananda of Manusya Gandharva than that of a Manusha Ananda, which was described in the earlier sentence or shloka. Let us say this Anuvaka has got 6-7 shlokas. So that was the second shloka. First one was Bhishasmad Vata Bhavate. Now in the third shloka, this Manusha Ananda multiplied by 100 is the Manusya Gandharva Ananda. We saw that Teye Shatam Manushaha Anandaha Sa Eko Manusya Gandharvanam Anandaha. Simple meaning, Manusha Anandat Shatagunena Utkrishtaha Manusya Gandharvanam Ananda Bhavati. So 100 times greater, glorious, wonderful will be the Manusya Gandharva Ananda compared to Manusya Ananda. What is Manusya Ananda? Those 7 things. Okay. Now, who are the Manusya Gandharva? We saw yesterday. Manusyaha Santaha. When they were human beings. So, karma and vidya visheshat. Because of doing the vishesha karmas, vishesha vidyas, gandharvatvam praptaha, who are promoted to become gandharvas. So, when they left this body, they reached to Gandharva Loka. Or here only, maybe for 20, 30, 40 years, that karma vishesha they have done. Upasana vishesha. Vishesha karma means yajna agadi. Vishesha upasana is upasanas he has done. So, outer attire may not have changed because that won't change as long as one in this human body is there on the earth. Only when he leaves the body, some other body in different lokas, unis, that's given. So either he may be here only. There are some people by the age of 20, they educate themselves properly. Then between the age of 20 to 40, 50, they intensely involve in so many of the yajnas, yagas, and upasanas, etc. Like some people involved in business, the money wise they grow. Involved in the outer education, they become educationalists and involve so much in their professionalism, they grow in profession. Some of them are involving in the social services, they become great social servants. You know, you can see that. Somebody politically, right from the scratch, they have started, then with intense activity for 3 or 4 decades, with such a experience behind, they are ready even to lead the entire country, rule the entire country. So ये एक ही जन्म में हो रहा है वो. So either this possibility or leaving the body and next birth will be in the Gandharva Loka. And now examples we have given of various fields. And in the same way, in the spiritual field, the one who is doing Vishesha Yajnas, Vishesha Upasanas for a lot of time, in the human body only, outside he may live like a human being, normal to others, but inside he will become Manushya Gandharva Sthai. He may not have become the king, but all those yajna upasana karke, he might have been blessed by all the yajna devatas, upasya devatas, that he has refined, purified himself to enjoy the life ananda 100 times more than the Manushya Gandharva. And what is the ananda of the Manushya Gandharva? Though it is said 100 times more than Manushya, why it is coming, where from it is coming, how it is coming, this is the crucial point. This is the only point in the entire Anuvaka, mainly to be caught. That we have half discussed yesterday. Today we will continue. So either here only or hereafter. Like a guru, he has got 30 disciples. He went on teaching all of them. But one of them becomes so great involved in all that when some of the disciples leave and go, some stagnate at one place, some become burdened to the guru, this person grows so much to become even the successor of that guru. You understand, by his efforts and all. Just an example. In the same way, there is a chance in the Manushya only he can become Manushya Gandharva, or he may leave the body with all the back support of lots of yajnas, upasanas that are done, that he will be promoted not to any other lokas but to the Manushya Gandharva category loka. This much please understand. Having understood this, now what is the speciality in Manushya Gandharva? How he is getting 100 times more Ananda than ordinary Manushya, but a king with all those 6 great achievements. So it is said here, कि मनुष्याः सन्तः karma and vidya visheshat gandharvatvam praptaha. Just now we explained. Though human beings, because of yajna and upasana, they become gandharva. So that's why yesterday we hinted here. Every time we will hint here, we keep on doing the jnana yajnas as we are doing in the class. In the spare time, do the dravya yajnas and the upasanas. Leave not even a moment free on the name of relaxation or the rest or any of the unnecessary wastages of the time. Mind will not agree. Senses will not agree. The whole personality says you are tired, you are exhausted. And yet, the one who not yielding to their temptations involves in these type of things more and more, they are the ones who get promoted to higher worlds. Now we are getting the keys here. No, every shloka, every line has giving a key, a chavi for us to open up some inner convictions, inner understandings, so that we have to become more productive in our life by our own efforts. If you have time and resources, involve in these things. Like I am busy in my morning, evening classes, in the afternoon also, no time. But those who are free in the afternoon, every day there should be some yajnas or upasanas. We have to keep on doing. Chodna in a time, because that's what promotes us to the next Manushya Gandharva level, which is 100 times more Ananda than this. No, in the daytime also we are studying Upanishads, doing Mananam and doing our Japadi, Sadhana and Dhyanadi to bring the mind to the Ekagra Bhumika, and then through contemplation reaching the self. Din bharam ye kar rahe hain, so then don't involve in those Yajna Upasana, because all of them ultimately are conditional happiness, which is not ultimate. Ultimate is Brahmananda only. There are no second thoughts in that. There is no second thought. Very clear? But if at all, if you are not able to do it, do at least this, an idea. It is done now. So Manushyaha Santaha Vishesha Karma Vidyaya Gandharvatvam Praptaha. हो गया Manusya Gandharvaha. Then what is the speciality in them, because of which they are 100 times more Ananda? That is beautifully told. First, their qualitativeness. Second is the joy. क्वालिटी क्या है उनका कि ते ही अंतर्धान शक्ति संपन्ना, अंतर्धान आदि शक्ति संपन्ना. So they have the varieties of siddhis that are at their disposal. So the antardhana and prakatya shakti also becoming smaller or bigger ones. So like anima, mahima, lagima, vahima, ishitvam, vasitvam, prapti, prakamyam. Among these few siddhis they have. That's the glory of these Manushya Gandharvas. So then that Manushya Gandharva cannot be the human beings, as we said earlier. So it has to be the special category after leaving the body born there. Manushya Gandharva they are. So one thing is Antardhana Shakti Sampannaha. Okay? Therefore, they can disappear from a place which is not conducive to be happy. And they can present themselves in any place where there is a happiness. Just for fun or example saying, if any bad odor place is there around, they can just make themselves andardhana, and there is a great rose garden full of fragrance. They can express themselves there and enjoy that as fragrance of the rose. I'm just giving an idea of what is the benefit of this antardhana shakti. And some thieves or some negative people are chasing or anything, he can become antardhana. Anywhere some group of saints and sages are moving far off distance, he can just from wherever he is can become antardhana, and then he can become prakata and do pranams to those saints and sages. So these are the benefits of antardhana shakti. Like that, so many. I know all these Chinese movies and all, they all based on these type of siddhis only. All their this graphic, dramatic, fictitious movies सारा वो इतने निकालते जाते हैं चाइनीज, वो ऐसे ही होते हैं, इधर गायब हो गए उधर प्रकट हो गए. Many of the rakshasas have this antardhana and kamarupa. Kamarupa is able to get any rupa required, like Maricha. He can become any form, so he will become a deer and all. Is it not? Even Hanumanji must be having it. That is why he has taken the Brahmana Rupa when Sri Rama, Sri Lakshmanaji came. So that means what? ऐसे मनुष्य के रूप में सड़े होने की जरूरत नहीं है. Through various upasanas, yajnas, sadhanas, one can even become greater with all these siddhis. थोड़ा मन में रख लो. Like in the world also, by working hard, we can become rich monetarily, we can become famous socially, and मेहनत करने से as a human being. In the same way, by the spiritual activities of upasana, yajna, God related, one can grow to the higher worlds, higher levels. ये बात बहुत सारे लोगों को मिस होता है मन में. Many people think through the upasana and all, we can get some things better in this world only. It is true. But even more than the worldly things, higher shaktis like this, Antardhana Adi also, one can get it. One point is discussed. Second is very essential. What is second one? Sukshma Karya Karanaha. These Manushya Gandharvas are having the body and sense organs very subtle, very pure, very refined. Not like you and I, the human beings, who have the very Sthula Deha, Sthula Karana, and they are able to perceive only the sthula vishayas. They have the very refined, very sukshma karana. And this is the reason for their actually the hundredfold happiness, which will be explained in the further topic. So first is Antardhanadi Shakti Sampannaha, second is Sukshma Karya Karanaha. Okay, Karya is body, Karana means the 14 Indriyas. 10 Jnanendriya Karmendriya, 4 the Antakarana. ये सब उनके very subtle they are there. Is it not? What is the grossness, subtleness is intellect? As I told you many times, when the child comes late from his school or college, straight away he is scolded. That's called the sthula buddhi कि गलत किया इसने लेट आया डांट पड़. But why he came late? Either you yourself think he must have gone here and there, or when he comes before scolding, you ask him. Get the response from him. Then coming late is genuine, therefore you did not scold. That's called as subtlety. Where you don't see the gross or outer, we go into the causes of it as well as effects of it. अभी करने वाले का बाद का इफेक्ट, अभी जो इफेक्ट हुआ उसका पहले वाला कारण, जो समझने का क्षमता रखता है, has become सूक्ष्म. So सूक्ष्म कार्य करना, is it understood? They have the सूक्ष्म कार्य करना. Then tasmat, therefore, yesterday we explained it is pratighata alpatvam tesham, and also dvandva pratighata shakti sadhana sampatti cha. Because of these, sukshmata of the karya karana, sukshmata of the body as well as the in the antakarana, so they have these two special blessings. One blessing is what? Ki pratighata alpatvam, ki they being subtle, the dvandvas will not affect them so much as they affect you and I, the human beings who have the karya karana sangata sthula. So Dvandva attack the Sthula more. Dvandva attack the Sukshma the less. So they, because they have everything subtler, the Sthula pairs of millions of Dvandvas, they won't touch that one. They touch us. Point one is this. So Dvandva of Shita Ushna, Sukha Dukha, Labha Hani, Jaya Parajaya, they won't touch them that much as they touch us because their upadhis are Sukshma. एक तो अंतर्धान शक्ति भी है, ठंड लगी तो वहां से हवा में उड़कर सूक्ष्म होकर और कहीं प्रकट हो सकते हैं. All that in your mind for your entertainment you can think. But the second thing is they have got द्वंद्व प्रतिघात सामर्थ्य, प्रतिघात अल्पत्वम. द्वंद्व का प्रतिघात उनके ऊपर उतना नहीं होता. So that like you, when you have that electricity जब काम करते हो तो those shock proofs whatever they are, I don't remember what they are called, when you wear them then shock लगता नहीं वो. In the same way, hundreds of examples you can take for understanding dvandva pratighata alpatvam is there on them. And for all of us, dvandva pratighata is mahat, so big. Stula shariras we have. Stula antakaranas we have. Very grossified, very extroverted. Their being sukshma, they don't affect. Like you and I through the study of Vedanta, when we understand that the world is mithya and world is continuously changeable and it is always uncertain, then what comes to us at what time we cannot decide. And then when this sukshma knowledge is there, when the insults come to us, the failures come to us, the pratighatatva because of these pairs of negative things, they won't affect us that much. When we earlier with Stula Buddhi took all these to be real and insisted upon that things should happen as we expect. So we have become Sukshma, therefore Dvandva Pratighata will not be there. Like when the son doesn't listen to you. Earlier, मेरा बेटा मेरा बात नहीं सुन रहा है, how can it happen? You become miserable and tell everyone. That is Thula human being. But when you understood Sukshma, he is also an individual. He also has got his own nature. So, and what you said might have not been liked by him. He may be having a better understanding also. And why should I scold him or order him or tell him just because relationally he is my son? Otherwise, he is an individual entity only. When these subtle knowledge comes, Even then also you advise him or tell him. That time when he doesn't listen, the dvandva pratighata will not be that much. An example. A negative example also can be there कि person got scolded, humiliated 100 times, उसके बाद 101 पे बार कोई इंसल्ट करते हैं, उसको कोई फर्क ही नहीं पड़ता. Not that way. Negativity. द्वंद्व प्रतिघात अल्पत्वम. Now, is it not a good state of being where instead of reacting to every small little unliked thing that we are just proof, not prone to, we are insult proof, we are humiliation proof, we are the attack, what is it, affecting proof from all the pairs of opposite. How wonderful the life would be. नहीं तो बहुत मिजरेबल हो जाएंगे हम हर एक चीज के लिए. Reaction, reaction, reaction. By itself, he is telling us why the Ananda is more. Because Dvandva Pratigat Alpatvam. Therefore, by doing Yajna Upasana, you have to eliminate the Sukshmata of the Karanas so that the Dvandva will not affect us that much as they were affecting earlier. In other words, become subtler in your going into the causes of the things. Try to repair at that level. Don't be affected at the surface level to get disturbed again and again. So, these are practical wisdom. Second thing is what? Not only the द्वंद्व का प्रतिघात उनके ऊपर अल्प होता है, but he himself has a द्वंद्व प्रतिघात शक्ति, sadhana sampatti cha. He has got all the sadhana sampatti with which he himself will do the pratighata to the dvandva, the power of retaliation. That he can take course of action. एक तो withstanding to the onslaught. Second is aggressively attacking and defeating the opponent. Like the 2 days back, the sentence by the Russian president or जो भी है वो, कि although it is late, they expected, the Ukraine started doing the retaliation attack, but then their failures right from the beginning. He just proclaiming his supremacy. And I was also wondering कि इतने साल से 1 साल 3 महीने हो गए हैं, always why this fellow is defending only the Ukrainian वाला. अब मर ही रहे, जाके कर दो पूरा रशिया को, so that उसको अकल आएगा. Now he started, little bit bombing here and there in the Russian territory. So withstanding is प्रतिघाता शक्ति, द्वंद्व प्रतिघात उसको सहन करने का शक्ति. Then from inside द्वंद्व प्रतिघात शक्ति साधना संपत्ति, he himself will have the power to attack, retaliate and remove its power. So the defending power as well as attacking power. In every field, both are required. Is it not? If you are a player, let us say, tennis you are playing, today are some finals. So you have to take the others' service when they do, serve, love all. Not only that, you have to reply that service in such a manner that you are getting that point. In the same way, cricket, defend not getting out by the bowler, but hit it for 4 or 6. Is it not? So too, when a failure happens in life, not only withstanding to that failure, but finding all the causes, preparing oneself so well that he is achieving the successes greater than earlier. Like in the civil services, winners this time, rank holders, few of them said that only. In that first 2 attempts when we failed, we took it upon ourselves so seriously that I worked so strong, so hard that I came and I deserve it because I worked hard. So these Manushya Gandharvas have Pratighata Shakti. Not only withstanding to that, but they have the retaliation power. Dvanda Pratighata Sadhana Sampatti also they have. Okay. Dvanda Pratighata Shakti Sadhana Sampatti cha. Now what is the lesson for us? Therefore, not only we have to withstand to all the onslaughts, but not in a negative manner of outside fighting or retaliation, but with the wisdom from within, we should be able to conquer that one. Hanumanji, today we will see, it is in the reverse process in our Adhyatma Ramayana, contrast to the Valmiki Tulasi. In those Ramayana, Hanumanji, when he travels, first the Mainaka Parvata comes, then Surasa, then Simika. But here, first Surasa, then only Mainaka. Maybe in one of the Yuga Yasi story, we don't know. So he withstood to the Surasa, all her frightenings, threatenings, and all. But he did Pratigahata also by challenging her, then take me into your mouth, open your mouth, open. But when she became big in her mouth, opened, he became small, entered inside, and came out. That is called as Dvandva Pratigata Samarthya Shakti or Dvandva Pratigata Shakti Sadhana Sampatti. And same thing when the Chayagrahi came Simika, he looked around, who is that pulling me? Koi dikhta nahi. Then he niche dekha. In other Ramayana, he went and gave one Ghosha. But यहाँ अध्यात्म में कहते हैं with leg only he kicked her, with one kick that Simika died. Mm. Always, as a human being, we have these abilities. From every failure, withstand from falling down because of failure in our morale and courage, and make it double the energy, and we can, in fact, achieve the double the success if you can put efforts intelligently. These things are naturally there in these what do you call Manushya Gandharvas because of their Vishesha Karma and Vishesha Vidya or Upasana. In this world, there are always both type of people. With every failure, they fall down further in their self-confidence, etc. There are other people also. Every failure they take as the stepping stone for success. They execute in such a way that they keep on growing, growing. In every field, you can see the examples. So I'm just analyzing that to say why this Manusha Gandharva say Manusha Gandharva 100 times ज़्यादा आनंद आता है उनको. Now, having told this, now the reason is explained. This is the most crucial of the all topics here. What is ki tataha. Tataha, remember, apratihanyamaanasya pratikaravatah. Apratihata, uh, 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 apratihanyamaanasya pratikaravatah. Apratihanyamana means not being affected by the pairs of opposite from outside. Second is what? Pratikaravatah. He himself has a capacity to retaliate. Because of these two reasons, Manushya Gandharvasya Syata Chitta Prasadaha. That the Manushya Gandharva has got the Chitta Prasadaha, his mind is so calm and quiet and stable. Therefore, what makes, now the conclusion of all the discussion is, what makes a Manushya Gandharva, by which he becomes 100 times more Anandi, is not by any of the other resources, but by Chitta Prasannata. Therefore, anything gained but with the disturbed mind can never be enjoyed by us, which we have seen hundreds of times in our life. On the other hand, when the things are given up by our own choice and we discover the prasannata in the chitta, that gives us more joy. Because today, just before the class, 1 minute पहले, somebody sent a message about the Tatas and all I was reading. When was your happiest moment? He said 4 occasions. When I become this way big, you that way greater. This is how I conquered the entire the industrial market, etc. These 3 occasions never gave me happiness. But when I distributed the 200 wheelchairs or something to the children, when they were happy on their face, my mind was so blissful and happy. This is the greatest moment. Remember? Therefore, first thing is what? Redefine the Ananda. It is not in procuring things and indulging in them. That is very temporary. Here, before procuring the lot of efforts, at the time of indulgence, lot of exhaustion. After that, there are regrets or guilts or weaknesses or slaveries or desires increasing more. आनंद का इतना हिस्सा होता है but उसका negative effect is so much before and after when we depend on the outer happinesses. This we have to recognize. Those who recognize it, they are becoming spiritual. They are becoming the rishis. Rishi means Sukshmadarshi. What is Sukshmadarshanam? These are the examples. Where through this analysis he understands. Yes, there is Ananda in the Vishya, no doubt. But before that, so much of struggle. During the Ananda, there is a fear. After that, there is a misery. Yaar, khatam ho gaya re. He is not denying the pleasure, but he is adding into his understanding what happened before, what will happen during the indulgence, and what happens later on. Most importantly, what he discovers is his individuality becomes a slave to the dependency on those objects on which he is expecting the ananda to come from. Is it not? Here, the other discovery is what? It is not in the pleasures of happiness of the objects of world, but it is in the chittaka prasadata, chittaka prasannata. Therefore, all the things that are done to maintain the prasannata of the chitta, calmness of the chitta, is a greater sadhana than disturbing the chitta to get the objects of the world. So therefore, now it's a big discussion. I'm just deliberately pausing and discussing exhaustively for my understanding also because then only when the understanding becomes subtler, we change our course of life from the outer worldly to inner spiritual. So he has done yajnas, he has done lot of the upasanas, this Manusha, then the Lord has blessed him, then he reached to the Manusha Gandharva Sthiti. In that, the three things have happened. One is Dvandva Pratighata, second is retaliation power, third, because of these two, he has become very, very, what do you say, prasanna in his chitta. एंड द्वंद्व प्रतिघात कम क्यों, शक्ति अल्पत्व क्यों है उनके अंदर? बिकॉज सूक्ष्म कार्य करना. So Yagnadi, Upasanadi, Bhagavad Krupa, Sukshma Karya Karana, therefore the Dvandva doesn't affect him much. He has got the power to retaliate because of these two. He is Prasanna. Yesterday we explained to you, when a hero knows that any number of villains come, he can withstand two, as well as he can retaliate to beat them. You can see the calmness in his disposition there. He says, Aajo kitne bhi. In every of the Hindi movie, you see this only. Chitta prasannata, because he knows no dvandva can disturb me and I can retaliate and win over them. So, dvandva pratigata alpatvam as well as dvandva pratigata shakti sadhana sampatti cha. Tataha apratihanyamanasya. Okay, because he is not affected by the pairs of opposite, pratikaravataha, that he is able to retaliate with his own power. Manushya gandharvasya syat chitta prasadaha. He has got chitta prasada. Chitta is maintained in a calm and quiet mood. Now, the next sentence is the most important. Ki tat prasada visheshatu. It is because of the visheshata of the prasannata of the chitta that sukha vishesha avivyakti. That he has got the special ananda 100 times more than the manushya, and not because of the outer objects. Manushya Gandharva is not 100 times more happy than the Manushya because of the outer things. No. वो तो हो चुका है ना, पृथ्वी सर्वावित्तस्य पूर्णा स्यात्, सब कुछ और क्या है पाने को इस जगत में. But the Ananda 100 times because of only one reason, Chitta Prasannata. The Prasannata mein all the things, the purity, the subtlety, therefore that Prasannata and that happy or calm, quiet disposition, when we maintain the Ananda gets reflected there 100 times more. And we can see it so many times in our day-to-day transactions also, wherever consciously we maintain the quietness of ourselves in spite of the situations around, we could feel a different type of ananda. That is the reflection of Brahmananda inside in that calm and quiet mind. And the other picture is very well known. So many outer amenities are there, but the chitta is not prasada or prasanna sthiti. Then it is in the disturbed sthiti with the things all around. Still we are not happy, miserable. कितने बार यह अनुभव में आता है हमको डेली. This is the main sentence to be underlined in this portion. What is that? कि तत् प्रसाद विशेषात सुख विशेष अभिव्यक्ति. ओके, तत्प्रसाद विशेषात चित्त प्रसाद विशेष रूप से होने के कारण उस प्रसन्न चित्त में सुख और आनंद ऑफ द परब्रह्म इस अभिव्यक्ति इज विशेषा. विशेष here means greater than that of मनुष्य. Therefore, peace of mind is more valuable than the pieces of the world. Protect this peace of mind. Don't just lose it. Then the chitta becomes opaque, not transparent. It becomes a blocker for the expression of the Brahmananda which is inside us. Chitta prasanna rakho all the time. Come what may. One of the greatest decisions we have to take and abide in it is what? Come what may in life outside to me, I am not going to disturb my chitta. If one can decide it and try to avoid in that, he is really allowing the inner Ananda to express. Because outer things, situations you can't command all the time. They will be coming in their own way. वो समष्टि के लिए होता है, उसमें हम हमारे लिए नुकसान है, तो समष्टि doesn't bother. Then how to withstand to that? How to maintain the happiness inside? By maintaining chitta prasannata. And how to do that again at our vyavahara level? By devaluing the things and beings around. All boils down to this only. And how do you that? You do that only by knowing at least intellectually that I seek anandam and that is inside me. If I say I seek objects and through the object is anandam and it is outside, then we have gone wrong at the very first step of our understanding. I don't want things or beings. I want happiness. And happiness is not in the things or beings, it is inside me. When this is there, then the slavery on the objects goes away. When the slavery on the objects or the outer world goes away, to that extent, the mind is agitationless. That agitationless mind is prasanna chitta. In that prasanna chitta, the beautiful inner Brahma Ananda reflects in a better quantity than the aprasanna mana of a human. Therefore, what is the calculation here? Through yajna and upasana, come to a manusya gandharva sthiti, wherein chitta is prasanna and dvandva sahishnata shakti, dvandva retaliation shakti. Then, without becoming yuva, syat, sadhiva, dhyayaka and all those six, without becoming raja, one will be 100 times more happier than that so-called yuva raja. This is what we have to understand mainly. विदाउट पृथ्वी सर्वा वित्तस्य पूर्ण, कोई भी जरूरत नहीं उन चीजों का. आशिष्ट, दृढ़िष्ट, बलिष्ठ, कोई जरूरत नहीं. बस चित्त को प्रसन्न रखो. यू आर 100 टाइम्स मोर देन दैट राजा हैप्पीनेस में. दैट इज हाउ एवरी टाइम यू हैव टू कैलकुलेट इट. क्लियर? नो हैविंग सेड दिस ही सेज तत् प्रसाद विशेषात् सुख विशेष अभिव्यक्ति एवं. नो लिसन, एवं इन दिस वे पूर्वस्याः भूमेः उत्तरस्यां भूमौ प्रसाद विशेषतः शतगुणेन आनंद उत्कर्षः उपपद्यते. How crystal clear see the main mantra and bhashya. In this way, compared to the earlier bhumikas of the earlier expressed people or the jivas, the next bhumika of the next graded people, the chitta is more and more prasanna. Therefore, 100 times more is the ananda there. Clear? एवं पूर्वस्याः भूमेः उत्तरस्यां भूमौ प्रसाद विशेषतः. भूमि मीन्स कंपैरेटिव. भूमौ प्रसाद विशेषतः. हियर भूमि मीन्स चित्त. तो अर्लियर जीव के चित्त में जितनी प्रसन्नता है, उससे ज्यादा आगे वालों के चित्त में प्रसन्नता ज्यादा होने के कारण आनंद इस शतगुणेन उत्कर्षः उपपद्यते. 100-fold the ananda is becoming. Therefore, everything is there in the manushya, but chitta prasannata is not there. So he has got an ananda, but not utkarsha wala ananda. All those things are not there, but somehow by the upasanas and grace, chitta prasannata is there in the manushya gandharva. That led him to have 100 times more ananda than the manushya. Okay, now the next one. The deva gandharva will be 100 times more anandi than the manushya gandharva. Why? Not because of again outer objects, not because of any of the other possessions, but he has done such types of yajna upasana that his chitta prasadata is much more than the manushya gandharva. Therefore, there is 100 times utkarshata in his ananda than the manushya gandharva. In whom? Deva gandharva. In that way, आगे up to the विराट पुरुष, हिरण्यगर्भ ब्रह्मदेव कहते हैं ना, वहां तक द आनंद का प्राप्ति is the reflection of Ananda in the Upadhi, and the Upadhi's refinement, purity, and Prasannata and Sukshmata are the Karana for the Utkarsha in the Ananda 100 multiplied. This is a beautiful thing. Evam पूर्वस्याः भूमेः उत्तरस्यां भूमौ प्रसाद विशेषतः शतगुणेन आनंद उत्कर्षः उपपद्यते. This understanding is spiritual understanding, and trying to this way make the chitta prasanna yukta is actual spiritual sadhana. So everything done outside sadhanas, but the mind is always disturbed. We have not understood spirituality at all. Come what may in the world outside, but through various the Devata Upasanas and one's own maturities of Viveka, Vairagya, one is able to maintain the prasannata of the chitta, his ananda is more. And the thing always to be kept in mind is not sporadically for a minute or two, but all the time the chitta is in prasanna sthiti. So the Manushya Gandharva's prasannata of the chitta is not once in a while coming and going. Once in a while coming and going तो मनुष्य को भी होता है, बट स्थायी भाव में उन्होंने मेंटेन किया, इसलिए स्थायी भाव में उनका आनंद ग्रेडेशन इज 100 times more than मनुष्य. So to the Deva Gandharva's prasannata of the chitta is greater than the Manushya Gandharva's chitta, not once a while. What a once a while, even Manushya Gandharva also can have better chitta prasannata compared to what he has got already. So temporarily he may feel Deva Gandharva's happiness once or twice, 1 minute or 2 minutes. No. Deva Gandharva's prasannata of the chitta is Thai bhava. See, remember always, what is required is not once in a while gaining the things. Permanently it should be there, like goodness. Goodness is not that 2 minute के लिए, honesty not 5 minute के लिए, सच बोलना झूठ नहीं बोलना. मैं एक दिन के लिए भाई सच बोलता हूँ झूठ नहीं, बाकी 6 दिन झूठी बोलता हूँ, ऐसा नहीं होता हो. That's not the thing. No, no, I never did any murder or crime. एक ही बार तो किया हूँ मैं. अबे एक ही बार की इसने तेरे को अंदर डाल. Like I told you about the examples of the sports. No, no, 100 balls I properly faced. Only one ball I did mistake. That's enough for you get you out. हो गया बस. Never ever allowing. That sthai bhava is to be aimed at. Remember, like you are maintaining the sthai bhava of morning and evening classes. By this, you are the one who are getting benefited maximum. Sthai bhavam chodenge in a way. That's what is guiding us up to this level of understanding the crucial most thing that through Yajna Upasana, don't seek the objects of the world. Through the Yajna Upasana, seek the peace of mind. In other words, that which gives the prasannata of the mind is true Yajna and true Upasana. Whether you do it through japa, whether do it through viveka vairagya, whether do it through understanding other people's lives who have gained the things objects more but then still peaceless, and there are other people have nothing outside but very peaceful inside, therefore they are more happy. I say कहीं भी resources से बात समझकर, when we maintain the inner peace of mind, then we are more matured spiritually. Spirituality is happiness, happiness depending on not the outer objects, but in the prasannata and sukshmata of the chitta. तो पूर्वस्याः भूमेः उत्तरस्यां भूमौ प्रसाद विशेषतः शतगुणेन आनंद उत्कर्ष उपपद्यते. So why the 100 time multiplication of Ananda? Not that the Manusha Gandharva has got 100 more kingdoms than the Manusha. 100 times more Ashishta and Dudishta and Balishta. No. Oh, hai nahi. But he has got 100 times more Chitta Prasada. Because of the Upasana, the Sukshma Karya Karana Sanghata, because of the Sukshma Karya Karana Sanghata, Dvandva Sahishnuta and Dvandva retaliation, from there the confidence came, because of which his Chitta is Prasanna. In that Prasannata, 100 times more Brahma Ananda reflected. More than him in the next one, Devagandharva इत्यादि. उससे आगे वाला up to Brahmadeva Ananda. And when you go to Brahmadeva, absolutely purer than the purest is the Chitta, where the little bit impurity also not there. By the way, the impurity in the Chitta is the Dvandva only. Dvandva Rahitya Shuddhi will be there in the Brahmadeva. Therefore, in him, Ananda of all these will be included. But that Brahmadeva Ananda also is only a drop of water in our main goal of Parabrahma Ananda, which we are going to see slowly. Okay, yeah. Now, having said this much, is taking up another two crucial topics for discussion before the next mantra is taken up. Okay, you have to be very conscious in listening. Very, very important topic it is. Very, 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 very essential. Okay. Hmm. 1 minute. Okay, देखेंगे. Now, slowly I will chant and slowly I will explain. Prathamam tu akamahata grahanam manushya vishaya bhoga kama anavihatasya shrotriyasya manushyanandat shatagunena ananda utkarshaha manushya gandharvena tulyaha vaktavyaha iti evam artham. It's a very important thing. See, in this particular main mantra, after Manushya Gandharva Ananda, this sentence got added. है ना? ते सैको अनुष आनंद then then मनुष्यानाम आनंद शत ते शतम मानुषानाम आनंदः स एको मनुष्य गंधर्वाणाम आनंदः श्रोत्रियस्य च कामः तस्य ते शतम मनुष्य गंधर्वाणाम आनंदः स एको देव गंधर्वाणाम आनंदः श्रोत्रियस्य च कामः तस्य. So this श्रोत्रियस्य च अकामः तस्य, these things have come from the second topic continuously. मनुष्य गंधर्व से लेकर आगे आगे आते गए. But between Manusya and Manusya Gandharva, the Shrotriya Akama Tattva is not come. That sentence has not been given in the mantra. See, you can see that Te Shata Manusha Anandaha Se Eko Manusya Gandharvana Anandaha. So Te Shata Manusha Anandaha Shrotriyasya Chakama Tasya, that is not said. But thereafter तो देखोगे मनुष्य गंधर्वाणाम आनंदः देन श्रोत्रियस्य च कामः तस्य. आगे भी देखोगे ते शत मनुष्य गंधर्वाणाम आनंदः स एको देव गंधर्वाणाम आनंदः लेकिन श्रोत्रियस्य च अकामः तस्य. Everywhere till the end श्रोत्रियस्य च अकामः तस्य, all that is given. Why it is not given here? And what is Shrotriyatva and Akamahatva? We are going to develop, which is again another very, very crucial topic here. So why that Shrotriyatva, Akamahatva is not mentioned between Manusya and Manusya Gandharvananda? Answer is here. He says, Pratamam tu Akamahata Agrahanam. Pratamam means in the beginning, tu, in comparison to the later sentences, Akamahata Agrahanam. श्रोत्रिय अकामहत का जो बात पहले नहीं बताया, वही कि मनुष्य विषय भोग काम अनभियतस्य श्रोत्रियस्य. We have described the Manushya Vishaya Bhoga. Out of that, Yuva, Syat, Sadhu, Yuva, Dhyayaka, Shishto, Dridishta, all the 7 they are told, no? They are called as Manushya Vishaya Bhoga. No, listen carefully. Manushya Vishaya Bhoga, Kamana, Kama Anavihatasya. If somebody is not hit by the Kamana of the Manushya Vishaya Bhoga, point 1. Point 2, Shrotriyasya. If he has already studied the Shastra, then Manushya Anandat Shatagunena Ananda Utkarshaha. Already will have the 100 times more Ananda than the ordinary man who has got interest in the Manushya Upabhoga Vastu. And this is already equivalent to Manushya Gandharva. Therefore, specially वो mention करने का जरूरत नहीं पड़ा. है ना? मनुष्य उपभोग विषयों के प्रति दिन को इच्छा नहीं है. और जो श्रोत्रिय हो चुका है, that बंदा already has 100 times more आनंद equivalent to मनुष्य गंधर्वा, तो already आ चुका है. So therefore, especially the Shruti Mata never felt the need of explaining the Shrotriyasya cha Akamahatasya, that Shabda in between Manushya Ananda and Manushya Gandharva Ananda. But later on, it's required to explain. This is the reason. So, शतगुणेन आनंद उत्कर्ष मनुष्य गंधर्वेण तुल्यः वक्तव्यः इति एवं अर्थम. ऑलरेडी बोल चुके हैं मनुष्य गंधर्व आनंद करके. Therefore, it should be told without telling only, it is told you have to agree. Because suddenly one will not become Manushya Gandharva. He'll have to do the Yajna and Upasana. For that, he'll have to give up all the Manushya Sukha Bhoga. And to do the Yajna and all, you have to study the Shrotriyatva बनना पड़ेगा आपको. तो बन चुके हैं आप, उस कारण से ही मनुष्य गंधर्व बना. इसलिए श्रोत्रिय अकामता कहने की जरूरत नहीं पड़ी. But later on it is required. Now, explanation is starting of very crucial things of three important things as sadhana for all of us. What Bhagavan Adi Shankara tries to explain, starts to explain is, ये तो आंसर हो चुका है कि the मनुष्य only when he does yajna and upasana, while doing so he has to give up the manushya upabhoga asakti, and to do the yajna upasana he'll have to study shastra, become shrotriya and do the yajna upasana accordingly. Already he has done it to become manushya gandharva, and in that shrotriya akamah तो already आ चुका है, इसलिए स्पेशली बोलने की जरूरत नहीं पड़ी. And that Manusha who has become Shrotriya Akamatva, while doing the Yajna Agadi, he has Antakarna became Sukshma, and he became Dvanda Pratighata and Dvanda Pratighata Samarthya. Therefore, his Ananda became 100 times. He is named as the Manushya Gandharva. Manushya Gandharva बना है जो उपासना करना था करके. उपासना के दौरान he was expressing the Shrotriyatva Akamatva already in practice. Therefore, specially the mentioning was not required. That is a summary. Now comes the very, very crucial, important thing to discuss and understand. He says, listen carefully, very crucial. This is the crux of this entire particular Anuvaka. What it is, Sadhu Yuva Adhyayakaha iti Shrotriyatva Avrujinatve Gruhyete. ते ही अविशिष्टे सर्वत्र अकामः तत्त्वं तु विषय उत्कर्ष अपकर्षतः सुख उत्कर्ष अपकर्षाय विशेष्यते. अतः अकामः तद्ग्रहणं तद्विशेषतः शतगुण सुख उत्कर्षः उपलब्धेः अकामः तत्त्वस्य परमानंद प्राप्ति साधनत्व विधान अर्थम. Now, if this one sentence I am able to explain to you thoroughly, I am successful. If you are able to thoroughly understand, you are able to succeed in the understanding, listening. And when we maintain our life according to this understanding, we are truly growing spiritually. So what is said here is ki sadhu yuva adhyayakaha iti. Focus on these two words. Yuva syat sadhu yuva adhyayakaha. Then ashishto dudishto balishtaha. So the first word yuva, third fourth one onwards ashishto dudishto balishtaha, उसको छोड़ो. ये बीच के दोनों को पकड़ो. साधु युवा and adhyayakaha. What is meant by Shruti Mata by this? Sadhu Yuva and Adhyayakaha is these two things. What are they? Sadhu Yuva means Avrujinatva, then Adhyayakaha means Shrotriyatva. Clear? Later on, Shrotriyasya Chakamah Tasya, Shrotriyasya Chakamah Tasya, continuously coming, no? We must inquire why it has been said so many times. What is the meaning of that? Bhagavan Shankara is taking that topic and explaining. There are two things, Shrotriyasya and Akamahatasya. Clear? Akamahatasya, little later he will develop. And he will tell the entire sadhana is hidden in that only. Before that, he is talking about the word Shrotriya. And along with Shrotriya, even though in the Shrotriya and Akamahatatva, sentences which are repeatedly coming, only two things are there, Shrotriya and Akamahatatva. Bhashyakara Bhagavan Adi Shankara for our sadhana is adding one more thing called as Andrujinatva, and that he is doing it with the authority of what was said as Sadhu Yuva. Okay. Now, what is the meaning of Sadhu Yuva? Sadhu means what? Andrujinaha. Avrujinatva. Vrujina means papa. Vrujinam santarishyati. You know, Gita mein na? Yethaidamsi samidhognir basasvat kurte arjuna. Before that, we have seen Vrujinam. Vrujinam means papam. Avrujinam means nishpapam. So, sadhu means nishpapa is equal to avrujina. So that sadhu yuva, which is mentioned in the beginning, its importance now here Bhagavan explaining us very clearly. Therefore, first thing is there sadhu yuva. Sadhu yuva is equal to nishpapaha. एक थोड़ा सा भी उनके अंदर पाप नहीं है. Okay. After sadhu yuva, what is the word used there in the initial points? Adhyayakaha. That adhyayakaha, what is mentioned here later on repeatedly, shrotriyaha. Okay. Now you have understood sadhu yuva is anuvrujinaha, adhyayaka means shrotriyaha. In that Shrotriya and Brahmanista things, Shrotriya Brahmanista only said, Avrujinaha not said. But in the beginning, Sadhyuva is said, therefore that has to be continued here. Sadhyuva is called Avrujinaha, so Adhyayaka is called Shrotriya. So two things are conveyed to us so far. One is Avrujinaha, second is Shrotriya. Avrujina means Nishpapaha, Shrotriya means thoroughly studying the Shastra, which you have already explained. So I don't need to explain it again. Shrotriyatva means going to the Guru, systematically spending few years, and from him listening to the Shastras thoroughly, without any doubt. Even if some doubt, ask the Guru and become clear. And in that Shrotriyatva, of the study of the Shastra, the two aspects of Aparavidya and Paravidya, with their glories, with their limitations, thoroughly understood without any ambiguity, that state of being called as Shrotriyatva, to which you and I as regular students trying to reach, if we remember whatever we are studying every day. I can't guarantee otherwise. That is the whole meaning here. It can't be guaranteed. But I am telling Shrotriyatva is this one. He has understood the Vedas, Vedantas. In the Veda, he understood the two aspects of the, what do you call, Varnashrama Dharma Vyavastha, the other aspect of Karma Kanda and Upasana Kanda, through which this world and the other world, Sukha Bhoga, are gained. This is called Aparavidya. So the Shrotriya knows thoroughly all that. And that Shrotriya also knows the second one, where the Jnana Kandam is there, the Vedanta Kandam is there, Upanishad Kandam is there, in which through the Akshara Parabrahma Prapti, the moksha is indicated. He has not done sadhana of any one of them, mind you, but he is Shrotriya, he is thorough. But whoever has become deeply studious of these aspects and understands with all the logics and examples given by the Guru, definitely he will have different clarity of picture in his mind regarding the life. And the clarity can be what? If I want material things, it's better to worship the Devatas through Yajna and Upasana, and by their blessings, let me get it. Rather than I struggle with my limited resources, which won't fetch what I want, therefore, going for any negative means, uske baad fir lene ka dena padega. That is a maturity. Like if you ask me, Swamiji, if you want to get 1 or 2 crores rupee, what will you do? My answer is, I will never say that I will work hard by becoming a doctor or lawyer or engineer or somebody and then I get the money. I will never say that मैं कुछ ऐसे घोटाला करूंगा, then I get the money. I say, for your question, my answer, if at all I want 2 crores, I will chant the Kanakadhara Stotram or this any of the yajna, that is by which the dhana can be gained. I will do that only, not these things, because this is guaranteed. That's why already in our earlier fourth of the Anuvakas in the Shiksha Valli, we were told both the things. One Pranava Upasana is done for the Medha Prapti, and the second portion may same Pranava Yajna is done for the Dhana Prapti. So that again we do such yajnas by which Antakarana Shuddhi, Upatta Durtakshaya happens, then we become qualified for Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahma, if you listen, if you remember. वहां हमने मांगा धन, है ना, यश्चंदसा मृषुभो, उसके बाद यही है ना, श्रुतम में गोपाया आवहंते वितन्वान कुर्वाणा चीरमात्मनः वासागम सिममगावश्च अन्नपाने च सर्वदा ततो मे श्रियमावह लोमशां पशुभिः सह स्वाहा आमायन्तु ब्रह्मचारिणः स्वाहा विमायन्तु ब्रह्मचारिणः स्वाहा प्रमायन्तु ब्रह्मचारिणः स्वाहा दमायन्तु ब्रह्मचारिणः स्वाहा क्षमायन्तु ब्रह्मचारिणः स्वाहा यशोजने सा निस्वाहा श्रेयान्वस्य सोसा निस्वाहा तन्त्वावगप्रविशा निस्वाहा समावगप्रविश स्वाहा तस्मिन् सहस्रशाखे निबगाहं त्वयि मृजे स्वाहा यथा पप्रवतायन्ते यथा मासा अहर्जरम् एवं मां ब्रह्मचारिणः धातरायन्तु सर्वतः स्वाहा प्रतिवेशोऽसि प्रमाबाहि प्रमापद्यस्व. These are all the yajnas done for the Omkara Bhagwan to give the wealth. If you ask me, I follow this one. I won't do the other things. In the good olden days, anything they want, they'll ask the devatas. They don't struggle. Nowadays, कोई देवता को नहीं पूछ रहे, खुद ही अपने गलत तरीके से कर रहे, and that is not liked by the devatas. Therefore, they are withholding the money, or even if you gain by some ghotala, they will see that everything is gone. But very subtle things. Now, I do not go into those details. The subject becomes bigger. A hint is given, you understand. What I am telling all that, the one who becomes Shrotriya, thoroughly understanding the Shastra, his way of earning the wealth of this world or the other world will be through the Vaidika Paddhati only, not through the Manaviya Paddhati of doing all the Papa and Adharma. One thing. But this is also not true. This higher thing. What is that? Once one becomes Shrotriya, in which he knows what are the results of Aparavidya, anything gained, it is temporary. And what is the result of Paravidya? That is permanent. Will he go for Aparavidya, giving limited things of the world, or will he go for only the Paravidya? Again, the second question. If somebody asks me, Swami, 2 crores when you have to earn, how do you earn? I asked you, you told me. Now, another question I am Swami in front of you. One side there is a 2 crore earning, second side there is Brahma Prapti. Among these two, what do you choose? If you ask me, what will I say? अरे पागल, why will I go for 2 crores which are endful? आधा तो उसमें टैक्स ही जाएगा 60 लाख 30%. I don't want it. I will only go for Brahma Vidya. That is the meaning of becoming a Shrotriya. To the extent the Brahma Abhilasha grows, to that extent our Abhilasha for the world reduces. Then our effort for the world reduces. Then our disappointments reduce. Then the peace of mind increases. The reflection of Brahmananda becomes 100-fold. This is how 100 times more and more Ananda, these are all getting. The next grade and next grade. That's the topic that is being elaborately discussed. So, in the beginning, Sadhuyuva Adhyayaka. That is being carried from there throughout the Ananda Meemamsa. So, Sadhuyuva is equal to Avrujinaha, Nishpapi. And let us discuss this also right now. Nishpapaha means what? The one who, for the sake of material things or any sukha, who is not doing adharma or who is not troubling others, he is called Nishpapi. Because Papa is what? Papaya Parapidanam. Doing the pida either to the human beings or the animals or even the nature for the sake of our selfishness is papa. When that is not done, nishpapa. But therefore, in the real growth of spiritual life, what is not in how many malas of japa we have done, how many books we have studied, that also important. But more important is how much nishpapi avrujinaha we are becoming. To that extent, the blockade of ananda go away, ananda reflection grows. Reflect ananda, that ananda multiplication grows. Keep that in mind. So here, what is the crucial discussion that he is doing is श्रोत्रियस्य च अकामहतस्य. इन दोनों को एक्सप्लेन करते हुए इन दोनों में कॉन्ट्रास्ट में श्रोत्रियत्व which includes aboriginatva is again conditional, but akamahatatva, if gained once, it is gained once for all, and the more akamahatatva you are getting, to that extent, this is the actual karana for utkarsha in ananda, and finally, to get the brahma tattva ananda, parabrahma ananda also, to get the Paramananda Prapti also, the final sadhana is Akama Tattva only. The cause, the sadhana. Because where will be the Kamana born? When there is a Dvandva or Dvaita is seen. The moment the Dvaita is seen, the Brahma Ananda is gone away because Brahman is Ekemeva Advayam. So if you have to experience the Ekemeva Advayam Brahma, the Advaita has to be achieved. For the Advaita has to be achieved, the Dvaita should be dropped. And what promotes the Dvaita and what is caused by Dvaita is both, is same. That's what Kamana. Kamana है तो द्वैत बढ़ता है, द्वैत है तो कामना बढ़ता है. Clear? When there is Dvaita, there is desire. Wherever there is desire, it is because of Dvaita. When I have become akamahata, when I have conquered the desire, that means what? I have transcended the Dvaita. When the Dvaita is transcended, what remains? Advaita. Advaita Brahman is Brahmananda. So finally, to gain the Brahmananda also, the main sadhana is akamahatattvam. That again starts from here. The Ananda of the Deva Gandharva is 100 times more than the Manushya Gandharva is because of these things. That he Shrotriya is thoroughly studied all the Shastras. Avrujinaha, not an iota of the sin is there in his life. And Akama Tattva, to some extent, his Kamanas have got reduced. Not fulfilled. Mind is the point. Kamanas got reduced, therefore, Prasannata of the Chitta increased. Therefore, the reflection of Brahmananda became 100 times more. That is what is said in this paragraph. कि प्रथमं तु अकामहता अग्रहणं मनुष्य विषय भोग कामना व्यतस्य श्रोत्रियस्य मनुष्य आनंदात् शतगुणेन आनंद उत्कर्षः मनुष्य गंधर्वेण तुल्य वक्तव्य इति एवं अर्थम. That we have discussed at length, explained. छोड़ दो. Next one कि साधयुवा अध्यायकः इति श्रोत्रियत्व अवृजिनत्वे गृह्यते. So sadhayuva adhyayaka, which are mentioned in the beginning, should be taken as avrujinatva and shrotriyatva when we are doing the Ananda MEEMAAMSA, Ananda Utkarshata. Thereafter, in this, these two, tehi avishishte sarvatra. The shrotriyatva and avrujinatva are avishishta. They are not certainly great. Why they are not great? Because the shrotriyatva and avrujinatva are very tough to achieve all the time. For example, let us talk about Shrotriyatva. Shrotriyatva means studying the Shastra. Now, how many Shastras are there? How many are there? So many. But have you studied all of them? See, we are doing the Bhagavad Shastra, but there are 17 more Puranas are there. See, we are studying Adhyatma Ramayana from Brahmananda Purana. But Brahmanda Purana to nahi pada na. So we might have studied up to the Taittiriya Upanishad, but Aitareya, Shvetashwar, Sandogya, Pradhanak to nahi pada. So always there is a limitation in the Shrotriyatva because the number of books, literature are so many. We have not studied Yoga Vasistha, we have not studied Mahabharatam, we have not studied all the 18 Smruti Grantham, ek bhi nahi padha humne, including Gita. Gita in general we spoke. We have to start now Gita with the Shankara Bhashyam. I may not do in English or Hindi, I don't know which language I will do. Now you understood the Asthai Bhava of the Shrotriyatva. Avrujinatva also same. And many times, unknowingly also the sins are done by us. With less profits, be attentive. Motivation, we slip from our discipline. A small papa of hurting somebody, cheating somebody can happen. Therefore, these two things, Shrotriyatva and Avrujinatva, tehi avishishte sarvatra. You can try to gain them. The more you gain them, it is better. But always there is avishishtata in them. You cannot have the sthai bhava in them. Whereas the akamaha tattva. Next one, कि akamaha tattvam tu vishaya utkarsha apakarshataha sukha utkarsha apakarshaya visheshyate. The akamaha tattva has something beauty. See, whenever we have kamanas, we try to fulfill them. But एक बार decide कर लिया हमने कि I am not going to have any kamana. Be attentive. Once the desire or the kamana is dropped, then whether the more vishayas come in front of us, less vishayas come in front of us, lesser vishayas come in front of us, zero vishayas come in front of us, do they affect us? Once we have become akamahata. Hata means killed by. Hata means hit. Hata means affected. Kama means desire. Not affected is akamahata. So none of the desires of the world other than Parabrahma I am going to entertain. If this sthiti one comes, he is called in the akamahata. And to such person, bigger than the big objects come in front, smaller than the small objects come in front, will he be affected? He will not be. That is the glory and visheshata of akama tattva. Once it is reached, it will be maintained throughout. Then at that maintenance level, none of the pairs of opposite trouble that person. This is what is the best example of both. The Prahlada ji in the Bhakti Marga, Nachiketa in the Jnana. He is akamahata. Therefore, when the father is giving everything in Dhanam, he was not affected. When he was protecting some good cows, he was not affected for his selfishness. He got affected because Papa, my father is doing Papam, I have to avoid it. Therefore, he asked, Kasmai Mam Dasisi. That's the sadhana part, Shraddha part. But he was not happy. Thank God, Papa, सब कुछ नहीं दे रहे, थोड़े cows मेरे लिए बच रहे बेचारे. He was akamata. He was not hit by the kamana there. Then when he went to Yamaraja, everything Yamaraja gave up. Yamaloka, Sargaloka, Bhuloka, Sarvaloka. Then Chandata Prarthayaswa, Ichata Prarthayaswa. You ask whatever it is in your mind, if it is not there in the list of the items I have shown you. But did that child get disturbed? No. Why? Only one quality has got, Akamahataha. That he said, other than Paramatma, I want nothing. Decided. उसके बाद छोटे चीज दिखाओ, बड़े चीज दिखाओ, कुछ भी दिखाओ. लाइक व्हेन वन डे वी आर फिल विथ आवर स्टमक, बहुत तृप्ति हो गया. उसके बाद कितने मिठाइयाँ रसगुल्ले सब रखो, नहीं चाहिए मेरे को, काम आता है, माई स्टमक इज फुल. बट वो तो 4 घंटे के लिए होता है बस. बाद में फिर ले आओ तो दो, सुबह दे रहे थे कहाँ गया हो, ले आओ. नचिकेता डिड नॉट से कि अच्छा आई गॉट द ब्रह्म विद्या यमराज, जो आप कह रहे थे सब दे देना मेरे को. ही डिड नॉट आस्क, आई विल टेक दैट. So to Prahlada, he was the next king after his father Hiranyakashipu. He will be becoming ना, तो पुत्र ही होएगा. तो सारा राक्षसों के साम्राज्य का राजा. He said, what is it? I don't want, I only want Lord's bhakti. Akamahata. Even when Bhagavan came and asked him what boon you want, Akamahata. Same way in Raja Muchukunda case, when Lord Krishna offered him, what do you want? He said, other than your Charana Bhakti and Atma Jnana, I want nothing. Akamahata. See, good that we are reading the Puranas and all. We can remember the story and we can relate to what we are studying in Vedanta. And from both of them, we have to get the essence of knowledge for our sake. And by these three, the crucial three sadhanas of the entire life are told now. Bas, इसके बाद नहीं पूछना what is the spiritual sadhana by which we evolve and our ananda becomes multiplied 100. The three sadhanas. One is Shrotriyaha, which you and I are doing, intricately, intensely, deeply studying our Shastras, by which essence of the Shastra comes to us regarding what is to be achieved as an ultimate, what other achievements should be given up because they are not ultimate. और थोड़ा टाइम लगेगा, और 4-5 साल पढ़ेंगे तो हमको फिर उसके बाद सारा क्लैरिटी आ जाएगा. Through the jnanam of the Shastra, what can be gained in the world, what should be gained in the world. Can be gained are both spiritual unfoldment as well as the worldly things. But should be gained is only the spiritual unfoldment, because the other gains are not gains because they go away. His Shrotriya comes to that level. Because of that only, he becomes Akamahataha. Is it not? I am not hit by any Kamana now, because other than Paramatma I have nothing. And only the one who is hit by the Kamana, or by the Kamana, that he does the Vrijinam, this sin, therefore he is no more sinful. So when there is sinlessness, when there is no Kamahatattva and clarity through the Shrotriyatva, about Brahma Prapti and nothing else, how much prasanna would be his Chitta? Imagine. Then in the Chitta Prasanna or Prasanna Chitta, will not the Brahma Ananda reflect 100 times more? That is why in every line, Shrotriya Akamahata, Shrotriya Akahamata is said. What is the meaning of Shrotriya Akamatva every level? See, like Manushya Gandharva said, Deva Gandharva happiness is 100 times more. And that is done, Manushya Gandharva se Deva Gandharva, by other means of Yagna Agadi. But here the positive means is said, if you can reduce your Kamahatattva and if you reduce your Rujinatva and if you increase your Shrotriyatva without doing anything, you will get the 100 times Ananda than Manushya Gandharva called as the Deva Gandharva Ananda. In this way, focus your attention on these three things without yourself changing your places, changing your birth into different lokas. You are going to gain the Ananda wherever you are, wahi. And finally, from the Brahmananda also, these three only are the sadhanas. This will little more discuss tomorrow because it's a crucial point. Bhagavan will tell here, Tehi avishishte sarvatra, akamah tattvam tu vishay utkarsha apakarshataha, sukha utkarsha apakarshaya vishishyate. Ataha akamah grahanam tad visheshataha, shatakuna sukha utkarsha upalabdehe. Therefore, 100 times fold in the happiness is not because of Shrotriyatva or Avirjinatva, but it is because of Akamah Tattva. Therefore, Akama Tattvasya Paramananda Prapti Sadhanatva Vidhanartham. Slowly, steadily, even to gain the Brahmananda, the only sadhana is Akama Tattva. That is why in every of the Shastra, a person who is reached Brahmananda is said to have the no desire, and this side sadhana ke drushti se Davan Prajahati Yada Kaman Sarvan Partha Manogatan, he alone becomes Atmanyeva Atmana Tushtaha, and that state is called as Sthita Prajna Tada Uchate. This is a very crucial thought. In this way, here the conclusion comes after this is explained, which will summarize tomorrow. Then what is the meaning of 100 times more, 100 times more? Who are the Manushya Gandharva? Who are the Deva Gandharva? Who are the Pitrunam Chiraloka Lokanam? Ajana Janam? Ye सारा हमको कल बताएंगे. We will catch it. So the summary of this and that topic we will see. This Anuvaka will be done, and it will also be having some beautiful question answers between our Pura Pakshi and Siddhanti. Having done this way, one more ninth Anuvaka will be there for us to study, with which this Brahmananda Valli will be over in a week's time or so. Then we go to the third one, Bhrugu Valli, which is not so big. It can be just, we can go through it. By God's grace, today is the 400 days we have done our Taittiriya Upanishad. Om, 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 Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamada Purnamevavashishyate Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Sri Gurubhyo Paramashabhyo Parabrahmane Shrutimate Nam Tatsat ब्रह्मार्पणमस्तु. आज का टाइम तो लग गया.